Hey everyone, Dumont, Owen here. It is noon here in the eastern part of the United States. Don't know where you're coming to me from, but if you are live with me right now, please go in the chat and let me know who you are, and love to hear where you're from. I am in Cleveland, Ohio today, and it is cloudy and a bit cold, but no snow coming down at the moment. So grateful for that. Okay. And by the way, if you are on Facebook, please go above me and give Facebook permission to share your name with StreamYard. You don't have to. I mean, you can make anonymous comments if you want. And in LinkedIn, you can set it. You can do that in settings. Or if you're having any additional problems, you can also watch me on YouTube. So we're streaming to all three places today. And as usual, I am so excited to share this with you today. So today we're going to be talking about 7 ways to find your ideal clients on LinkedIn, because you know they're there, right? I mean, if you are in B2B or B2C for that matter, you can absolutely find your ideal clients on LinkedIn. You just have to know how to drill down. And, there are numerous ways to do this, but what we're going to be mostly talking about today is advanced search and how you can use advanced search to really get a really clear idea of where to find these folks. So I am going to share my screen, and somebody let me know, can you hear me? Okay, so I'm going to assume that you can, and we're going to go from here. So as I said, today we were talking about 7 ways to find your ideal clients on LinkedIn. Now, just a bit of housekeeping. If you're on LinkedIn, you might find some distracting captions going across the screen. They can be turned off. I just forgot to do that before I hopped on. So you're going to see those captions, and sometimes they misspell the words. I just want you to know that's not me. And if you're going live, if you have your own live show on LinkedIn, please be aware of that. And you can decide whether you want people to see the captions or not. Now, we know that more people watch video with the captions on and the sound off than they do with the sound on. So I'm sure that's why LinkedIn is doing this, and I'm sure that the transcription will improve. But right now it's a bit annoying in that the captions aren't always correct. But we'll do our best with it. Okay, so for those of you who are joining me for the first time, my name is Dumont Owen, and I am a master personal brand strategist and a digital branding strategist, and I specialize in helping coaches, consultants, trainers, and other kinds of service providers find their ideal clients and land them on LinkedIn in record time. Now, I come from the world of higher education, and I have been in this business for 10 years now, using LinkedIn and learning all the tricks of the trade. So today, that's what we're addressing. We're just going to get in there and get started. So first, I'm going to show you how to use advanced search, and then I'm going to stop and share my screen and go on LinkedIn and actually show you how to do these various things. So, all right. Today, we're going to talk about why LinkedIn is the very best platform for finding B2B and many B2C B2C leads who can afford your services. And where prospecting falls in the lucrative LinkedIn system. That's the system that I have built over the years that actually takes you from beginning to end of how to find, engage, and convert your ideal clients using LinkedIn. And then we're going to look at 7 ways to find your ideal clients without paying for a premium subscription. Now, let me say that LinkedIn Navigator does have additional search fields, and you can get more discreet in the way that you screen your potential leads. And so it can be very, very useful in that way. But it is, it is an additional cost. It's going to cost you around $1,000 a year. But did you know that you can get Sales Navigator for free for a month? Yeah, for free. So what I would do if you haven't used it and you haven't used your free subscription or your free month, then I would go ahead and sign up for it and do that free month and play with those search filters that Sales Navigator has and get a really good idea of who your ideal clients are. And if you have used the free month, then go ahead and sign up for 1 month. You can pay on a monthly basis. You don't have to pay for the whole year at one time. So I do advocate Sales Navigator. It is a great tool for prospecting and for actually interacting with and keeping track of your leads on LinkedIn. So I'm going to show you the free way, but be aware that you can also use Sales Navigator. And if you would like to learn more about Sales Navigator, let me know here or shoot me a direct message and let me know that you would like to learn about or hear about Sales Navigator, and I will get that information for you. Okay. We're going to have more of these live streams in February, so I just wanted to tell you real quickly what they are before we start. Next week, I'm talking about the LinkedIn Playbook, and this is a way to find, engage, and convert your ideal clients in minutes a day. Next, we're going to, on February 17th, I'm doing my Build a LinkedIn Profile that converts like a sales page. Always a very popular topic. And then finally on February 24th, I'm bringing back Build Your Brand in Bits and Bytes, Get More High Caliber Clients on LinkedIn. That's on February 24th. This is a master class. It's a 3-hour master class, and it includes workbooks and some really good tools for actually building your brand and then promoting it on LinkedIn. So be sure and sign up for that one. Okay. Now, why do we talk about LinkedIn for leads? Well, first of all, LinkedIn's lead conversion rate is 3 times higher than other platforms, and that includes Google Ads. So 3 times higher conversion rates than all of the other places. And that's really important because it's one thing to find people and to qualify them as leads, but it's actually another thing to convert them to clients, right? So that's, that's a really big reason for looking at LinkedIn. Secondly, 80% of social media leads come from LinkedIn. Think about that, 80%. All right. And then LinkedIn members are more affluent than those on the other platforms. So they can not only appreciate your programs, they can afford them, your premium programs, okay? And then finally, 33% of business-to-business decision makers use LinkedIn for research purposes. They are looking for your solutions, okay? Big reason to be here. All right, so really quickly, and I'm sorry, this is not showing up real well. So I will go back to I used a different illustration last week. Let me walk you through this. The lucrative LinkedIn lead generator, or the lucrative LinkedIn system, is actually a 4-part system. It has 4 stages. Now, the first stage is clarity. And in clarity, oh, hey, Joyce. We are talking about, in clarity, we are talking about getting really clear on your goals, your niche, and your brand. All 3 of those are extremely important. When we look at your goals, you can, once you've established clear goals based on what you want to do with your business this year, that's how you're going to figure out what goals you have for LinkedIn. And then you can select metrics on LinkedIn that will help you track those goals and understand how you're doing in terms of reaching them. You're also going to want to get as clear as possible on your niche. Now, that's one way that this using advanced search to find your ideal clients can be of help, because it really helps you clarify where your niche is and see which ones are responding to you and which aren't. If you haven't been able to narrow your niche down, and that means the demographics and the psychographics of your niche, then use a target audience. Use one of the industry classifications, or kind of a general description. And you'll see more about that when we go through advanced search. And then finally, you want to get real clear on your brand. And if you aren't, be sure you tune in for that Build Your Brand in Bits and Bytes on February 24th. Okay, the next stage is awareness. And in awareness, that's all about building your profile. You want people to be aware of you, and no matter what strategy you're using on LinkedIn, they are going to be looking at your profile. So you want to get very, very clear on your profile. And your profile is centered around the clients in your niche. So your niche, once again, is very important there. You're also going to look at content marketing in your awareness stage, because you're going to want to be sure that your main messages are being expressed on your profile. And content marketing is very much a piece of that, because you can use your content and your multimedia to make your profile really stand out. Okay, the next stage is, oh, and we also talk about automation in that stage. Your next stage is relationship building or lead generation. And that is where we look at how you find people, what we're talking about today, how you connect with people, and how you you nurture your leads, how you build those relationships. So this is a stage that we are in today, the relationship building. And the first stage is that prospecting, drilling down and finding those right people. And then in the last stage, we're talking about sales and analysis. Sales, have the right kinds of sales conversations that don't make you feel pushy, phony, or manipulative. And one thing that you will notice, if you follow this plan and you take care of all these stages, when people get to you in that sales conversation, they're going to be much more prepared. They already know you. So this doesn't have to be an uncomfortable conversation. This can be really natural and authentic, as they know what kinds of solutions you provide already. And then we're also going to analyze those metrics that you have been following all along to make sure that you are reaching your goals. And then finally, you're going to do that rinse and repeat thing, where you're going to make your tweaks based on that analysis and then start the cycle over again. Okay, let's keep moving. 7 ways to find your ideal clients, and write these down. I will also be, as always, sending the PDF out. If y'all have, and the replay, if y'all are watching this on the recording, you are probably watching it on Monday or Tuesday, because it takes us a good 3 hours to convert the video and get that to you. So that's why you're going to see it on Monday or Tuesday. So the first thing you're going to look at on LinkedIn is followers. All right, you want to make sure that that you know who those people who are following you on LinkedIn are. And in a minute, we're going to go there and look at this. You can also look at the people who have viewed your profile and find new people there and leads there, because those people who looked at your profile are looking at it as the result of a search or as a result of seeing something that you posted in the LinkedIn newsfeed. So they are looking at your profile, and many of them are interested in the topics that you talk about or the services that you provide. And then there's advanced search. And in advanced search, you can look for all kinds of things. And we're going to look at all those filters, because what you can do is you can go in and search on a number of different things. And I've got some of them listed here. The first is competitors' connections. How cool is that? You can go in and you can look at anybody really that you have a first degree connection with, and you can sort their connections based on your own search criteria. Really cool feature. You can also look for alumni at your college or university. Now, this is such a great way to find people because you already have something in common. So it makes that introduction, it makes that request, connection request, much easier, because you have something in common, and those are people who are inclined to help you because you come from the same school. There's a kinship there that's been established. There's also alumni search. Oops, I've got mail coming in here. Let me turn that off. Sorry about that. Okay, so there is alumni search, and you can look for the colleges and universities that you went to, and then connect with those alums. There's people also viewed. Now, this is not an advanced search. This is where you go to someone's profile and see who else they looked at, and then find, or who else offered similar services. And then finally, you can use advanced search to look for groups where you can join those groups and then meet people who are in the category of your ideal clients. So I am going to stop sharing right here. And I am going to, let me see if I can do this. Hold on a second. Let me pull up LinkedIn. Okay. Present. Come on. Present. Oh, let me do it this way. Okay. Okay. Remove this from the screen. Now let's go to present. Nope, that's not going to do it. Uh-oh, it's not going to let me present that way. It should. Ah, here we go. Okay, so I am going to share my screen. Here we go. Okay. Forgot that I was not on Zoom. I'm on StreamYard. So you should be able to see this. Why is it looking so fuzzy? Let's do this again. Okay, there we go. All right. So, whoop. Oh, I see why it did it. Hold on. Okay, let me pull this over. All right, I'm going to go back to, let's just go back to the home page first. Okay, so here I am on the home page, and the best way to use advanced search is to either you can enter a category, say career coaches, and I could do it that way, but I am going to not put anything there, and I'm just going to hit enter because this is going to bring up all the filters across the top. So you have a people filter, and had I put, say, career coaches in here, I could then hit people and it would only bring up people. Okay, you can bring up posts and look at posts that are related to that. You can bring up products, jobs, companies, groups, and we'll do that in a minute. Services, events, courses, schools, and then all filters. And all filters is where I like to hang out because it makes it so easy. When I'm looking for new connections or for new people or clients on LinkedIn, I first of all indicate second degree connections. And that's because I am not directly connected to second degree connections, but they are connected to one of my connections. So it makes it easier to get introductions to them if I want to do it that way. And introductions are always the best way of meeting people on LinkedIn. They are far more likely to respond if someone that you both know introduces you, or if the person that could introduce you is someone that you haven't really connected with in any meaningful way, then you can just drop their name and say, oh, I see you know so-and-so, or, oh, I see that we have 78 connections in common. We must be doing right, or I'm surprised we haven't tripped over one another. Let's rectify that. So that's one way. And so if I were just looking at second degree connections and I wanted to, let's say, find coaches that were in the United States, so I can click United States. Let's say I also want to see coaches in Canada. I could add Canada there. And whoops, Canada, come on. Canada, there we go. Or let's say I also want to see coaches in the United Kingdom. There we go. Okay, so we've got 3 locations there, and you can get more discreet. I'm in the Cleveland area of the United States. I could pick Cleveland. Pick Cleveland. I could pick Florida. I know a lot of people there. I'm in Ohio. I could click there. So lots of locations, and you can play with these and get as discreet or enlarge your search as much as you want. Now, if I wanted to look for people who talk about certain topics, say on the stage or on podcasts or on live streams, I could define that right there. I could also look for people who are with a particular company. And this is always good because then you can go down to the bottom and you can actually pick what area or what position you want them to be in. So you could pick a current company, you could pick a past company, you can pick a school. So let's say that I want people from Florida State University because that's where I did my master's and my doctorate. So I want to meet people there. And let's first just look at an industry. So I can just say, I want to talk to people in professional training and coaching because a lot of my clients do come from that area. So I could do that. And let's say I even want to add an area. Let's say management consulting. And it's not coming. Okay, usually it comes up that way. Let's just, okay, it's not going to do it this time. Okay, let's just go with professional training. Oh, we can also go for professional services. There we go. Okay, so we've got 2 categories there. I'm going to say I want them to have profiles that are written in English. Although you can get it translated, I find that I just work better with people who speak English. So because although I speak a smattering of other languages, not fluent in anything. So you can also search by first or last name. You can search by a particular title, company, or school. So right now I'm going to skip service categories for right now, and I'm just going to see the results when I select an industry. Okay, so I got 3,300 results. Now, 3,300 is an awfully large number to consider as a leads list because you can only connect with 100 people a week on LinkedIn, and 3,300 isn't getting that discreet. I like to have a list of 1,000 or less, and often, like 200, 300. So I'm going to reset this. I'm going to go to all filters. I'm going to click second again. And then I'm going to, let's say, United States. Okay, so let's say this time I'm just looking in the United States, and I'm not looking for a speaker right now. I am looking, and I'm going to skip industry this time. I'm still going to click professional or English, and then I'm going to come down here to service categories, and I'm going to look at coaching and mentoring, executive coaching, consulting, leadership development, and let's say if I want to get more discreet, I can look at career development coaching. And I've already got executive coaching. So now I have a number of areas that I'm looking at, and let's see what that does. Okay, that gave me way more results. So if I wanted to open it up, and I did that by adding all of those different coaching specialties and leadership development and consulting, again, that's way too big. So I'm going to go back to all filters. I'm going to leave it on second. I'm going to reset here. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to say, I still want them to be in the United States. But let's go down here and say, I only want to look at coaching and mentoring, career development coaching, and executive coaching. Let's look at that and see how much narrower that is. Okay, we've gotten down to 61,000. So let's keep going. Reset. Reset all filters. And second degree. All right. So as we're going through here, now we've got second degree. I am going to make this even narrower. I'm going to say that I want them in the greater Cleveland area, Ohio, in the United States. And how about Florida? I know a whole bunch of people in Florida, so we're going to do that. So if you're from Florida, say hi. I miss the sunshine right now. And we can look at, let's say we're only going to look at, I'm going to keep it in English. We're only going to look at executive coaches. All right, so let's show the results here. Okay, so this brings it down to 2,100, still large, but I can get even more discreet than that. I can take it down to, I can take off Ohio, I can take off, I can take off Ohio, I can take off Florida, I can just look in greater Cleveland. or I can look and see whether they're executive coaches in another area that I'm interested in. So I can keep taking it down. The reason I don't want to get a huge number is because what I urge you to do is to only work with connecting with and building relationships with a smaller number at a time, because there are too many people on LinkedIn who are using that kind of shotgun approach of just kind of spraying with all those invitation connection requests, and they don't know how to build those relationships. And you cannot build relationships with thousands of people at a time. LinkedIn limits you to 100 invitations a week. But if you get a pretty good response rate going, you're not even going to be able to handle that. So you really want to be specific and work with a smaller number of people where you can develop those relationships that are based on mutual respect and trust. And then it's going to be so much easier to get them into a sales conversation. So that's why I'm trying to keep it at a lower rate or a lower number. Now, I want to show you something else in advanced search, because this is a very cool feature. Let's go to all filters again. I'm going to keep it on section, but I'm going to add connections of. Now, this is a great way to find more people if you have a particular ideal client type that you're looking for, your niche. I could go to, say, connections of, and put one of my clients, or I could put connections of one of my clients, or at least someone who meets my criterion for an ideal client, and put them in there, and then sort all their connections, because people who are, say, career coaches know other career coaches, right? Because they tend to be in the same organizations. So that's one way to really find more connections. Now, another cool thing you can do with this is to add the name of a competitor. There are other people in my field, just like, career coaches might know other career coaches. I know other people who are in personal branding. So I'm going to enter the name of someone here that I really respect, and that I don't think of as a competitor. I think of her as a mentor. So I don't feel bad about using her name here. So I'm going to enter Deb Dibb. Deb is another master personal brand strategist. And so I can enter her in here, and I can say, okay, Deb, I want to look for people that are your connections who live in the United States, who are in, let's say, the professional training and coaching industry, and who speak English. No, you know what? I'm going to make it even more narrow than that, because I happen to know that she works with people who are in particularly career development coaches. So I'm going to look at those, and let's see what we come up with here. Okay, 113 results. Now that is a number I can really work with. And yes, some of those people are going to be her clients, but not all of them. Some of them are just going to be contacts. And even if they really like her, they may like my approach better, or they may like my services better. Deb happens to specialize in a different area than I do. She helps career coaches build, revise their writing, really create great copy. She takes their copy and she polishes it, and it makes it fabulous. So, and she's a lot of fun to work with. So if you are a career pro and you are looking for someone to help you with your copywriting, that would be Deb. If you're looking for someone who can help you with identifying more clients and getting them on board, then you would be more interested in my services. So see, I'm not actually a competitor, but I can list her as someone who's in my field and find more clients that way. So that's a really cool way of doing it. Now I can also go to her profile and I can, review. I'm still in all filters. Let me go to, I'm going to go back to home and then do it that way. Okay. Now I'm going to look for Deb. Okay. All right. So I'm going to look at her profile, full profile. And see this right over here? These are people who are similar to Deb. And you can see there's William Maruta, because we both studied under William and worked under William. And he's a pioneer in personal branding. He did all of our certifications, or at least our original certifications. There's another person, Ann Pryor, who happens to be a LinkedIn strategist and sales trainer. So she's another one. She's more of a direct competitor in my area. And then you're going to find other people who may or may not be directly related, but are similar. So if you've identified 100 people who you think might be your ideal clients, you can then use, you can go to their profile and look at people that, other people that people looked at, when they were looking at those clients, or you can use advanced search to search for other people who are like them by entering their name in connections of. Now, how cool is that? Now, I'm going to go back to advanced search for a minute, because I want to show you something else that I think is pretty cool there. I'm going to go to all filters again. And here I can go to followers of. Okay, so I'm going to add a follower, and I'm giving you a big tip here, because I follow Adam Houlihan. There he is. Now, Adam is an absolute influencer on LinkedIn, and has 3 books that I recommend to my clients. I mean, I'm a big fan of this guy. So I know that I'm going to find a lot of people. Now, Adam has a huge list of followers. So not all of his followers are going to be clients, but they might be clients of mine. He tends to deal with people in a much different way than I do. He helps people become influencers, and that's not really where my primary services lie. So I can look at him and say, oh, wow, who can I find that is one of Adam's followers that let's say I want them to be, I'm going to go back up here, and I did put United States. Okay, I'm going to say that Adam operates out of Australia, but he has fans all over the world, followers all over the world. And I'm going to say I want them to be in the professional training and coaching industry. So let's just see what I come up with there. Okay, 59 results that actually come up in the professional training and coaching industry that are followers of Adam. And if I wanted to find more than 59 results, I could go back and use perhaps something like, let's see. Let's go back and look at all filters, second, followers of, Adam Houlihan, United States. I could add, let's add Canada too. And that works for me because being in Cleveland, Ohio, I'm near Canada, and I do have clients that come from there. I could look at, instead of industry, I could go down here to service categories. And let's say I'm looking at coaching and mentoring, executive coaching, and let's just add career coach. career development coaching. Okay, so let's add those three and see what we come up with there. Okay, 122 results. Now that's a good number for me to work with. And then I can use all of those other strategies that I just showed you to enhance those. I can look at Jamie Greenberg and see if there are people on his profile that are similar to him. I could go to him and now look at, once I connect with him, I could then look at him and look at his connections. So you can see that these are ways to absolutely find more and more connections, but do it in a way that is more and more discreet in the way that you drill down. Okay, so I am going to get out of this. Let me first check and make sure that, I'm going to get out of LinkedIn right now. That's going to go a little fuzzy. I am going to share my screen with you here just to make sure that I did not show you how to look at profile views. When you're on your profile, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to go back to LinkedIn for a minute. Hold on a sec. Okay, so I am going to share my window. Share, okay. So here we are. I'm going to go to my profile. And I'm going to look down here. Now, there are two things that I can do here. One is to look at profile views. How many people looked at my profile? So I can go in there. Now, I have Sales Navigator, so I can do this and see different lengths of time. If you do not have a premium service, you will only be able to see 3 people and only those who have done it. I believe it's within 24 hours. So this is not going to be as useful with a free account. But with this kind of an account, with a premium account, I can look at even up to 365 days. I can look at specific industries. I can go to locations, and I can once again use all filters to go through all of them. So that's another way to do it. Go back over here. And the other thing I wanted to show you is that you can click on followers. Now, I have creator mode turned on, so I can see my followers there, but your followers will also be down here in your activity. So if you don't have creator mode turned on, you can find them here. And you just click on this, and you can see who you're following and who is following you. Now, here's what I want you to remember. Followers are not always connected to you, okay? All of your first degree connections are automatically followers, but followers are not necessarily connections. So by looking at the people who are following you, you can identify people who have an interest in you. They have seen something that you did that was in their news feed, and they decided to follow you and to see more of what you do. So they already have an interest, at least in one of the topics you talk about. So that's just another way that I wanted to point out that that you can do that. So, whoops. Were you not able to see that? Okay, hold on. Where do I find filters in my navigation bar? Oh, okay, Joyce, let me show you that. I find it by putting advanced search in the search bar. Is there another way we should be using? Joyce, if you want to use filters and just do it and go to the filters, you can just put your cursor in the search bar and hit enter. Is that answering your question? And Joyce, I don't know whether I ever mentioned to you that I'm from Largo. Hop, skip, and a jump. In fact, I used to live in St. Pete. Okay. If you have creator mode on, does it serve up the follow made more than the connection mode? No, it's not going to show. It's not going to show more followers if you are in creator mode. It will show you. You're going to have the same amount of followers. The thing that creator mode does for you is it allows you to it allows you to display that number of followers shows at the top of your profile so people can see how many followers you have. And that's nice because it'll never show more than 500 connections, right? It always says 500 plus. You could have 30,000 connections, which is the max you're allowed to have. And I don't advise having 30,000 connections, but you can also have what was I trying to say? You can also, if you're in creator mode, have a newsletter. You can do LinkedIn Live like I'm doing right now, and you can even do a podcast in LinkedIn. So what you will find is that if you have creator mode on and you are doing content marketing, you're going to find a lot of advantages there. So creator mode is probably going to get you more followers, and that's the advantage of it there. Okay, Joyce, did it work out with just entering the cursor and entering it? No, you can do both from someone's from someone's profile. If someone goes to your profile, they can click the bell to follow you, or if they. Oh, yes, it did. Okay, good. So if someone goes to your profile, they can follow you or connect with you. If you have creator mode on, they have to click more and click connect in the drop down button. And the advantage of always connecting from somebody's profile is that you can add a note and tell them why you're connecting, which is going to make them far more likely to connect with you. Now, if you hold on, Joyce, let me finish answering this one question, then I'll look at your mention. Now, if you're a connection already, if you have connected with them, it's going to have a follow button there for you to follow, or you can click their bell. Now, what the bell will do is it will notify you every time that they decide to follow you, or every time that you post something. So that's going to get them more oriented to following what you're posting. So, and this is something I just wrote an article on this week. If you want to follow someone else, if you want to always be notified when they have posted something, you can click their bell. Now that's an advantage because then when they post something, you can go to that post and you can engage with that post. And that way you are going to get their attention. You're going to get them to notice you and to start and you're going to be able to have conversations with them, which is going to make it more likely that if you want to connect with them, they'll accept your connection. The other advantage of clicking on the bell on someone's profile, if it's someone like Adam, who I was just showing, if I want to follow Adam, I can click on on the bell on his profile, and every time he posts something, I'm going to get notified in my notifications in that upper menu on LinkedIn. I'm going to get notified that he just posted something, and I can share that. Sharing someone else's post someone who's an expert in your area just shows that you're in the know. It doesn't take away from you at all. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Hope I didn't blow anybody's eardrums out. Okay, Joyce, let's see. Yeah, I know. It's so simple just to click in the blank space in the search bar, Joyce, but it's not something you think of right away. But if you are looking for that ideal client, and they fall in a certain area, if you have a niche and you just want to look for people in that niche, you can put a particular area. Like most of my clients are in that coaching or consulting or service providing in those categories. So I can just put one of those in there and it will do that. Okay, looks like we are coming up on the hour, but I want to answer any more questions if anyone has them. Okay, if you would like to know more, see more of my stuff, know when I'm going live or know when I post. I try and post a couple of times a week with some useful tips that you can use. Go to my profile and ask me to connect if I'm not a connection. Tell me that you saw me on LinkedIn Live, the lucrative LinkedIn Live show, and that you would like to connect with me. And then once we connect, follow me by clicking that bell and you will always know when I post something. Okay, so I'm not seeing any other questions. If you have any follow-up questions, you can contact me directly at dumontowen.com, or you can follow me on LinkedIn. So either one. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you learned some cool stuff. And I will see you next Friday at noon. Ta-ta for now.